I'm honestly still processing the way this series ended. It's been less than an hour since I finished watching it, but wow, this series kept me guessing. It kept me on the edge of my seat. I was really pulled in, but did it deliver? That's the most important question. Did this series deliver? Is this one worth checking out on Netflix? Well, to be upfront, it's going to be pretty difficult to go into the meat of this series without going into spoilers, and I am not going to do spoilers, so we're going to be kind of vague here. Something very bad is going to happen tells the story of Rachel and Nikki, two adorable people who are in the midst of a beautiful love story. But as that big day starts to approach, a very important question must be asked. Are these two actually soulmates? So this series is now streaming on Netflix, and it stars Camila Morrone, Adam DiMarco, Gus Birney, Karla Crome, Jeff Wilbusch, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Ted Levine, famous from Silence of the Lambs. It really didn't take me too long to get totally pulled into this story because I enjoy a good horror story, a good scary story, and this series did not waste any time jumping to that part of it. Things start feeling really unsettling pretty early on, and it has you asking questions and coming up with theories and going into overdrive, trying to figure out just what the fuck is going on. The way this series started versus the way it ended, my expectations versus my reality, well, they're not lining up at all. There is so many surprises to this series. I felt like I was given a big shocking twist about midway through the season, and it definitely changed everything that I was thinking. Series creator and writer Haley Z. Boston explores some pretty profound themes in this series, but perhaps the biggest question that this series poses is, what is a soulmate? Is this romantic notion even real? And are we always right when we think that we have found our soulmate? How many people out there got married thinking that they had found their soulmate and it turned out not to be? Just look at the divorce rate out there. It's a very important question to ask. And it does make sense for this series to tackle that theme because this series does revolve around a couple that is getting married. So do soulmates really exist? Well, for starters, you'd have to believe that we have souls. But if souls are real and there really is a particular soul that we're supposed to end up with, how do you know if you've found that person? Is it sexual chemistry? If you answered yes on that, then you are the weakest link. Is it finding somebody that you never have a disagreement with? Well, come on, that's completely unrealistic nonsense. So then what the hell is a soulmate? The performances in this show are really great, and each of the characters starts to grow on you in their own way. Some of them take longer than others. Like, for example, Portia, played by Gus Birney. Her character is almost a caricature of a typical high school stuck-up blonde girl. I don't really know, but she does come off as very annoying throughout a lot of the series, and yet at the same time I kept feeling like, I think she's growing on me. She's really cliche, but I kind of like how she's giving it her all and really just selling this character so damn well. Camila Morrone is the series' main star, and she does such a brilliant job bringing the character of Rachel to life. This is a woman that has a pretty traumatic past, and that past has shaped who she is, and I found her pretty relatable because, I have kind of a rough past too. I feel like a lot of people out there probably do and can connect to the idea of having something bad happen to you at a younger age and how much it does follow you throughout your whole life. I think what makes this series so great is not just one particular actor. This is a really well-rounded cast. Everybody in this series brings it their all. Adam DiMarco may look familiar to fans of The White Lotus. He was in the second season of that show, and he absolutely nails the role of Nikki. Not only is he hot, which, come on, he's hot, but he brings a very complex performance to Nikki. You start out thinking that you know a lot about his character. He seems like a very goody two-shoe, by the book, mama's boy kind of guy. You think you have him figured out, but then as the series progresses, you realize that there's more to this guy.
Are you sure he's the one?
Everybody's got more going on, including this guy, and I really loved the way he brought that performance to life. He might be one of the least engaging actors in the cast, but that's because they just didn't give him enough meat, but the meat that he is given, he chews and he nails, and he does a really good job. The cinematography and sound direction are also really, really awesome, and I thought the musical score was used brilliantly and helped to truly sell the chaos that this series has, and this series really does does have a very chaotic style. There was a lot of parts of this series that really reminded me of watching The Studio. If you've ever seen that, it's a really brilliant comedy series on Apple TV, and they have a lot of big one-take shots, and this series kind of does that too. And the way the score is mixed into the series, it just gives this feeling of like something bad is happening. You feel like you're on a roller coaster and you're going up, and you feel like, okay, you're about to go down at any minute now, and it just constantly feels like something is on the verge of erupting. And then another thing that this series kept reminding me of is the brilliant series creator Mike Flanagan. He is a guy who has made a lot of great shows for Netflix: The Fall of the House of Usher, The Haunting of the Hill House, Midnight Mass. And it was really sad and very disappointing to me when they announced that he was parting ways with Netflix. We haven't had a new Mike Flanagan series since The Fall of the House of Usher, so there was very much a void being left by his absence. But this series, it really reminded me of that. And so because of that, I am nominating Haley Z. Boston to take up the mantle and keep bringing us scary stories very similar to this, because I think she nailed the direction. She brought a great cast. It's got that awesome ensemble cast like Mike Flanagan was really good at doing. It's got that creepy aspect going on. It's got deeper themes than you would think. This is not just some cliche horror series. It's a very complex discussion and insight into humanity and soulmates and love, and I think it's just all a really well done series. It was addicting and kept me guessing and wondering what was going to happen next, and most importantly, it never became predictable. Whenever I started to feel like I had figured out what this series was up to, it pulled the rug out from underneath me and left me feeling like, oh shit, now I gotta go back to square one and try to figure this out again, because it never really became predictable, at least not to me. I will say, however, I'm not known for figuring out plots in advance. I'm sure there's gonna be people out there that say, well, I figured it out from the beginning. And if you did, good for you, I'm gonna give you a star. So when it ended, I was pretty engaged. I'm like, okay, I liked it. I liked the way this series ended. I think it was unpredictable. The performances, yeah, just so much about this series that I really, really enjoyed. I'm giving this series a 9 out of 10. So that's my thoughts on it. It's worth checking out. If you have Netflix, get on that right away, especially since they keep raising the price of your subscriptions. You better take advantage of what they're offering. And they finally brought us something worth watching, a good, solid, scary story in the vein of something from Mike Flanagan. And that's all that I could really hope for. If you saw this series, go ahead and put your thoughts on it in the comments. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some mixed opinions and some varying opinions, but for me, I loved it. Love to hear from you guys. As always, guys, if you liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button to let me know that you liked it. I would love to get a metric for how well I'm doing. And if you want to hear more things from me, you know what to do. Subscribe to this channel. Later.